In this video, I will show how to find the area of the region bounded between the graphs of two functions. And first, let's go ahead and graph the region. And to graph the region, we have to graph the two functions. So we have a function y equals x squared, which is a piece of the parabola, and we also have the graph of x equals y squared, which is also a parabola, but sideways. Now, we clearly identify the region bounded between these two graphs as this region right here. Therefore, we can remove everything what's not relevant and focus only on the region. And the first thing we have to figure out is what would be the region of what would be the boundaries for this region. And for that, we'll have to solve the system of equations. So y equals x squared and y squared equals x. So we have the following results. So instead of x or instead of y, we just plug in x squared. So we have x to the power 4 equals x, and therefore x to the 4 minus x equals 0, and therefore x times x minus 1 times x squared plus x plus 1 equals 0. So the points of intersection of these two graphs are x equals 0 and x equals 1, and we can see that from the picture. So the limits of integration will be from 0 to 1, and we're going to use this formula. And in order for us to use this formula, we have to write each of these equations as a function. So one of them is given as a function. So the parabola, the equation of the parabola is y equals x squared, but the other graph is not given to us in function notation. So we would have to isolate y there first. So taking square root of both sides and choosing the positive radical of x, because the negative square root of x will give us the piece of the parabola in the fourth quadrant. So once we have both graphs written as functions, now we can just find the area by using this formula. So the area between these two graphs on the interval from 0 to 1 will be can be found by integrating f of x, the upper function, in this case square root of x, minus g of x, the lower function, in this case x squared, with respect to x. Once the integral is set up, now it's just a matter of finding the antiderivative and using the fundamental theorem of calculus. Antiderivative of square root of x is x to the power 3/2 over 3/2, which is same as multiplying by 2/3, minus x squared, which is antiderivative of x squared is 1/3 x cubed, and we're evaluating it between 0 and 1. So plugging in 1 gives us 2/3 times 1 minus 1/3 times 1, and evaluating everything at 0 gives us 0. So the answer is 1/3. That is the area between the two graphs, two given graphs, is equal to 1/3.